There's video 16 on the Mustang. I pulled the Cleveland apart last night, and so there's fire damage inside the block, well, inside the engine. Some of the bearings, like cam bearings, mains and bigs, have melted. You can see like it's dirty from where it was sitting, like on the crank, on the lifters here. Can't see, can you see that, where it was just sitting? Oh, that's not from where, it wasn't running like that, that's from the fire. That's from all the oil getting cooked. The pistons seem to be in great condition, and the rings. The rings have still got tension, which is interesting. Seems the pistons took the heat, whereas the soft metal bearings didn't, which makes sense. Like, for example, here on the crank, it's got 4MA stamped on it. See that? That's a bit of the bearing that's melted into the oil gallery. All in all, but the engine was, recently rebuilt, 60 thou over. The crank's standard on the mains and bigs. I've sprayed everything with transmission oil last night, and I just pressure cleaned it with water and blew it down with the air. And I'm not sure, so I shouldn't really talk about it, but that to me looks like a date. And in America they have the month and the year the other way around, so it's 10th month, 8th day, and that's a 9, so it might be a 69 engine. And in October, I'm pretty sure in the States it was the new model had come out by then, so it's a 1970 car, but it was possibly built, well, at least the engine, in 69. That's if that is a date. I mean, I might be wrong. It's different to Australian ones. There's no numbers here. I don't even know, I haven't even found where there's the casting number there. See that? 9 as well? I reckon it was I might be wrong, but I reckon it was built in 69, which is kind of cool because I'm making the car a 69 car, but it doesn't mean this motor was in a 69 Mustang. I don't think the Cleveland came out until 70, so I don't think you could get a 69 Mustang with a Cleveland in it. I think I might be wrong, whatever. But this one's gonna have one. It's gonna have this motor back in it. I've relaxed on the Windsor idea. Threw it in there, and sure, it fits, it's great, but I'm gonna put the Cleveland back in it. I'm gonna race the thing, so if I want to go fast, the 4V Cleveland standard will be faster than the standard 302. So my thoughts are, I'm just going to look at these lifters, pull them apart, check them out, check the cam out, sit down and clean it all and have a real good look at it, see what it is. It's a Ford cam, it's whatever came out in them. Same with the oil pumps, a high volume oil pump. I'll pull it apart and have a look at it. It's probably fine, but I'll check. And all the pistons, like the little ends and all that, they're all free, and it's I'll just check everything out, and then order the rings and bearings. I'd like to leave the crank standard if we can get away with it, without undersizing the crank. And the old cam chain, I don't know, it's hard to tell if they're loose or not. I think it's a little worn. I think I changed the cam chain. I think that's a big thing. You don't want the cam, you know, you want it just to be inspect, don't you? But yeah, I haven't got to the heads yet. The heads are over there on the bench. They'll be next. After I've got this all tidy and clean, I'm just going to give it a quick hone, oil everything, and then it's going to live inside the house. I'm not leaving it outside anymore. The days of this thing being abused, other than getting rev too high, are over. It's going to be loved up, painted blue, the correct blue, and restored back in. So yesterday I was just mucking around, you know, I was cleaning the bumper and just, I thought, stuff it, I'm going to start on the motor. Let's have a look at the motor. And it's got me back on board. I mean, I got so much to do, and it doesn't really matter what order I do it in, as long as it all gets done. Except for welding. Welding and making things straight needs to be in order, but leaving the engine full of water and crust and rust, I think, was the wrong thing. So I'm pretty happy about stripping it down and checking it out. It seems fine. I'll check it some more. I've ordered a cam bearing installation tool, and I'll use the tool to remove these ones and learn how to do that. I've never done it before, so the only bolt I broke was the earth bolt for the earth strap. So I'll drill that out and tap it, and yeah. Oh, there was one other sus bolt. I don't know if it was the thread or one of the sump bolts had a nut on it to space it out, so it might have a broken piece in there. I'll check that too. And yeah, keep cleaning, keep working. Look at the bores there. 60 thou, no rust too, like inside. It's not rusty. Which like no rust in the water jackets is what I mean. Like there's a little bit, but it's not, you know, it's smooth in there. Like you can feel the thickness of the bore is still thick. It's which is rare for what I've seen with these engines in Australia. They're normally full of rust because people have put water in them. But I think in the States, because it's cold over there, that's just my thoughts, they generally run better, you know, methanol or antifreeze or whatever they run in the cooling system. I think they're a bit more diligent over there. And plus, this was an expensive car. You know, like, sure they got abused as well, but you know, it was probably pretty well loved up until the day of the fire. So the casting junk there, and in the sump, like when I was pulling the motor down, there was bits of stuff like that got in there from dripping in there. Like, pretty sure there was bits of carburetor or, you know, aluminium that had dripped in there through somehow. There was bits of the bearings melted, so it had some heat in it. I mean, I'm not going to go spend $1 million on it. I'm just going to see if I can get it to go. If there is a problem with it, I'll just pull it out and I'll put another motor in. I'll try to use as much as I can of the original bits and get it running again. Be interesting. Hear a fire again, be good. So that's another long-winded video, if anyone's interested. Like, see there? See that burn mark? That's from it sitting and getting cooked, like the oil getting cooked. That's not from high speed spinning or anything, that's from the fire. It's got junk on it. So if you had to wound this motor over too much, it would have done damage. Like the rings would have smashed into the rust, the bearings would have scored the crank. You'd have to grind the crank then. But I turned it over by accident when I was taking the torque converter off, and I rocked it a little back and forth to get the pistons out. But I didn't go there sitting there spinning around. Like, I never did a full revolution. So I'm pretty happy I've just stripped it. So that's the block. Updates to come. Hopefully it looks a bit better next time.